Dear students, myself Dr. J.S. Gopalkar, Department of Chemistry, Rajiv Gandhi Mahavidyalaya, Ludgate. We have already started the topic from organic chemistry, synthesis and uses of dyes. We have already learned the introduction part of dyes. We have already learned about the classification of drug which is based on the method of applications. Now, today we will be discuss about on the theories of color and constitution of dyes. This is the new point for us. Now, as we know, the definition of dye, we have well known about them. Dye is the colored substance, or dye is the substance when which responsible to impart the color with fabrics or materials, but the color should not be removed by washing with water, soap and light. Now, whatever the color is appear, which is because of the some reason, as an organic chemist we have to find out that why the chemical compounds shows color, why the chemical compounds develop color, or why the chemical compounds impart color to the material or any fibers. Therefore, we have to learn today about the theories of color and constitutions. I have already sent this study material to all the students via Google Classroom on dated 18 August 2020. Now, in our syllabus, there are two theories are given. First one, Witt's theory, and second one, quinonide theory. And we have to discuss in detail what is Witt theory and what is quinonide theory, and both the theory represent why the color is appear due to chemical compounds. Now, first of all, let we know about the Witt's theory. Now, Witt is the name of scientist, and he has proposed or discovered the theories for the color and constitution of dye. And according to this theory, the color and chemical constitution of dye, which is based on two factors, that is chromophore and oxochore. Means this theory is totally based on the chromophore and oxochromes. Means the color and the chemical constitution for dye is based on the chromophores and oxochromes. Now let me see what are chromophore, what are oxochromes. We will see one by one. Let me see first chromophore. Now chromophores are the certain unsaturated functional group. Means chromophores are a specific functional group. But what type of unsaturated functional groups? With multiple bonds. Well, multiple bond means the bond may be double bond, triple bonds. Means the chromophore are a certain functional groups, any type of functional group with multiple bonds are called as chromophore. Means such a functional group containing unsaturation with multiple bonds are called as chromophore. And the color of such organic compounds is in part or appear due to the presence of such type of functional group. Such type of functional group means because of the presence of specific functional groups, they impart color to the fabrics or material. Means specific functional group means this functional group with unsaturated and with multiple bonds. And such a functional group are also called as color bearing groups. Means because of this functional group, these compounds can develop the color to the material. That's why such a functional group are called as color bearing groups. Okay, for examples, nitro, nitro functional group NO2, there is unsaturation, N double bond O, therefore nitro group is there, it is color bearing. Nitroso N double bond O, carbonyl C double bond O, azo N double bond N, orthoquinonide means this is quinonide structure, but both the ketonic group in cyclic structure are adjacent to each other at one position. Therefore, it is orthoquinonide. And this is paraquinonide means 1,4. This is paraquinonide. And all these functional groups are having unsaturated with multiple bonds. Unsaturation, double bond is there, means unsaturation. With multiple bond means more than single bond. Therefore, such a functional groups are called as color bearing functional group, or it is called as chromophore. Okay, means this theory depends upon the two factors, that is chromophore and oxochrome. Now you have well known about the chromophore as I have told now. Okay. Now one more point is arise. One more thing is arise during the course of to understand the dye, that is chromogene. Then what is chromogene? The chromogene is nothing but it is the any organic compound which containing chromophoric group. Means any organic compound that contain a chromophoric group. Chromophoric group means unsaturated functional group with multiple bond. Means any compound with unsaturated functional group with multiple bond. In a molecule, such a compounds are called as chromogene. Means those molecules or those compounds that contain such a chromophoric group are called as chromogene. And if one of the chromophoric group is present in chromogene, chromophoric group means functional group. These are the chromophoric group. And when such a chromophoric group is present in a chromogene, chromogene means molecule or compound that contain chromophore. Means when such a chromophoric group is present in a chromogene, at that time this chromogene which is responsible, means chromophoric groups are responsible to impart color to the compound. Therefore, the intensity of color is generally increases with the number of chromophoric group increases. Means when the chromogene containing more than one functional group or chromophore, at that time the intensity of that compound is get increases. Okay, intensity means the intensity of color. Okay, for example, benzene. Benzene has a colorless in nature, it has no any color. Nitrobenzene is having pale yellow color. Nitro means NO2 functional group is there which is attached to benzene ring. Azobenzene, red in color, means dinitrogen. This is azobenzene. Then orthobenzoquinone and parabenzoquinone, yellow and red color. Orthobenzoquinone and parabenzoquinone are yellow and orange red in color. Means the color of compound, means color of dye is depends upon the chromophore and oxochrome. What is chromophore? Chromophore containing unsaturated functional group with multiple bond are called as chromophore. And when such a chromophores are attached or present in a compound or in a molecule are called as chromogene. And the color of that compound is depends upon the chromophore. Okay. Now the second point, that is oxochrome. Means we have learned the chromophore. Okay. Now next point is oxochrome. What are oxochrome? Oxochromes are the certain functional groups. Means they are also having some certain functional groups. When it is present in chromogene. Means when a oxochrome is present on chromogene. Now do you know the chromogene? Chromogene means the compound that containing the chromophore functional group is called as chromogene. Okay. Now oxochromes, when the exochrome is present in a chromosome at that time, which intensify its color, means the color of that compound get intensified. Means such a functional groups are called as oxochrome. Means they can intensify its color. What are oxochromes? Oxochromes are the certain functional group. When they are present on chromosome, at that time they get intensified. Its color of compound are called as oxochrome. And this oxochrome may be acidic or basic in character. Okay, and these are the salt of these are the salt forming functional groups. Means, for example, hydroxyl, carboxyl, COH, hydroxyl, OH, phenolic, AROH, sulfonic acid, SO3H, alcohol, GOR, amino NH2. All these functional groups are acts as a exochrome. When these exochrome are the functional groups present in on the chromosome or in a chromosome, at that time they can intensify the color of compound. Means the intensity of color maybe get decreases or increases. Okay, and all these exochromes are the salt forming functional group. Means they are always salt forming functional groups. Okay, now this is the difference in between oxochrome and chromophore. Means the Witt's theory is depends upon the two factor, means the color and chemical constitution of dye. According to Witt's theory depends upon two factor, chromophore and oxochrome. Now you have well known about chromophore, you have well known about the chromogene, and you have also got idea about the exochrome also. Okay, and these are the examples. And these exochromes performs in two actions functions. Means these exochromes are responsible to deepen the color of chromogene. Deepen the color of chromogene. And the oxochromes are essential to make chromogene become as a dye. Means when the exochromes are present in the chromogene, at that time they become acts as a dye. And when the oxochromes are present in a chromogene, they can deepen or intensify the color of that compound, that is chromogene. Okay, means the oxochromes deepen the color of chromogene. Such groups are called as bathochromic group. Means these oxochromes which deepen the color of chromogene, means they intensify the color of chromogenes. Such groups are called as bathochromic group. And those functional groups from this exochrome, they do not deepen the color of chromogene, right? Those functional groups which do not deepen the color of chromogenes are called as hypsochromic group. Okay, this is hypsochromic. This is the difference. Means the exochromes may be bathochromic group or hypsochromic group. Bathochromic are those functional groups which deepen the color of chromogenes. What are chromogenes? Chromogenes are nothing but the compound that containing chromophore. Okay, and those compounds that do not deepen the color of chromogenes, they are called as hypsochromic. Okay, this is about the theories of color and constitution according to Witt's theory. Okay, have you got this point? What is Witt's theory? Witt's theory depends upon two factors, that is chromophore and auxochrome, right? Hmm. Now we will see next point, that is next theory, that is quinonide theory. What is quinonide theory? Quinonide theory is depends upon the presence of quinonide structure in a compound. Means according to this theory, those compounds which containing quinonide structure, those compounds having a quinonide structure are considered as a color compound. Means according to Witt's theory, those compounds that contains such a chromophore or chromoaxochrome, they are acts as a dye, or they are color in nature and they are dye. But according to quinonide theory, those compounds that containing the quinonide structure at that time, they are considered as a dye. Okay, and all compounds represented in quinonide form. This is the quinonide forms, okay, of benzoquinone. Right now I think you have well known about the phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein exhibit the color when it is present in quinonide structure, but it is colorless if paraquinonide structure become absent. This is the paraquinonide structure. Means phenolphthalein having, or which exhibit its pink color in a basic medium, because in its structure there is a presence of this paraquinonide structure. But when the color is absent, when the color for phenolphthalein is absent as a pink color, at that time it do not having in paraquinonide structure. Okay, that's why the color of our phenolphthalein is exhibited because of paraquinonide structure. For example, this is the structure of phenolphthalein. Is there any quinonide structure? No, that's why it is colorless. Okay, but this is another structure of phenolphthalein, in which this is the paraquinonide moiety. Paraquinonide moiety, therefore it exhibit red or pink color in basic medium. Okay, therefore the phenolphthalein exhibit its red or pink color in the basic medium solution. Why? Because it containing such a quinonide structure in their structural formula. Okay, now this is about the quinonide theory. Okay, what is quinonide theory? Those compounds that containing quinonide structure, they are considered as a color compound. This is the quinonide theory. This is the example, that is phenolphthalein. But what are the drawbacks of this quinonide structure? The quinonide structure means, first drawback is that is the iminoquinone. This is the iminoquinone. Why? There is a NH to it. NH functional. That's why iminoquinone. This is diiminoquinone. Two amino imino NH have quinonide structure, means both these compounds iminoquinone and diiminoquinones have a quinonide structure, but they are colorless. Okay. Now what is the drawback? According to quinonide theory, if the quinonide structure is present in their moiety, at that time it become colored. Okay, but really in practice these two compounds are not colored. Okay, this is the drawbacks, means the quinonide theory has failed to explain why these iminoquinone and diiminoquinones are colorless, even though they containing the quinonide moiety in their structure. Okay, now what is the second drawback? Azobenzene as well as diacetyl compound. Azobenzene as well as diacetyl compounds are colored but are not having quinonide structure. This is the drawback. Now can you find here there is a quinonide structure in azobenzene? No. Means azobenzene do not having any quinonide structure, but it become color or it act as a dye. Okay, Why? Because according to quinonide, if quinonide structure is present, then it should be colored. But this structure is not having color. Sorry, this structure is colored even though there is absent of quinonide moiety. Okay, this is the second drawbacks. Means in this way, today we have learned about the two theories of color and constitution, that is Witt's theory and quinonide theory. Witt's theory depends upon chromophore, auxochromes and chromogy, and quinonide theory depends upon the quinonide structure. Okay, now in this session we will be stopped here, and in the next session we will be discuss the next point, that is synthesis and uses of dyes. Okay guys, thank you.